Hi, my beautiful, beloved friends. Have you noticed all of a sudden you're kind of psychic and that you know a lot more and are experiencing life in a much bigger, brighter way and much more energetically informed way than you've ever experienced before? For example, have you noticed that when you think of things, they happen? Or you can read situations and read people pretty quickly and you confuses you like, this is crazy. What am I doing? And you doubt it. And then after the fact, you realize I was right. How can that happen? How can I do it? I can't explain. Well, welcome to 5D. You are beginning to live in your higher frequency. It's very exciting. You're actually living less and less in your ego and in your intellect and more in your divine spirit. Thank God. It's a lot happier here. Hi, my name is Sonia Choquette. If you're new to my channel, I'm so excited to welcome you. I believe you were guided here by your spirit, by your higher self and guides. If you've been following me for a while, welcome back. We have been walking a beautiful journey through the third to the fifth dimension. And now we are actually talking a lot about what it's like to live as a fifth dimension being. And what's happening to me, it's like I am actually experiencing life in a way I've never experienced before. So if you're new to my channel, stick around. And if you like it, consider subscribing because I would love to have you be part of this glorious community. We are leveling up together and we're going to have a good time and help one another. So today I want to talk about the consequence of living in the fifth dimension that we cannot deny that I've been talking about for 50 years. And that is the consequence of I actually have, guess what, 6 working senses and like light switches turning on. A lot of us are just having them turn on spontaneously. No more living in the dark, no more living in our head, no more living exclusively in our heads, even if you retreat back to that. And then I'm beginning to experience a tremendous light. In fact, as I'm recording this, I see all this light coming in and it just makes me laugh as the universe is saying, yes, let's demonstrate what this is like. Let's show them the light. So living in the intuitive experience of life, which is part of the consequence of being a 5D person, is that you just start to interpret life very clearly on an energetic level. Here are some of the indications that your intuitive self is waking up, your light body, your light being. First, you're going to start sensing the tone and energy of places and people very, very much so, and can't deny it. You might, for example, find yourself going out to dinner, walking into a restaurant and saying, you know what, I don't want to be here. Let's go. I don't want to be here. I need to go somewhere else. The vibe isn't right, even though it might be completely beautiful. Or maybe you walk into a job interview and you really were excited about the job on LinkedIn or wherever you got the indication to go there. Sounded fabulous, but the minute you walked in the door, not so much. I don't belong here. Or conversely, you walked in the door and said, I do belong here. This is where I belong. This is a perfect energetic match. I feel happy here. And all of a sudden you have confidence that it's going to work out. These are some of the exciting changes that you're going to experience. Another one is that you might become sound sensitive and you're just not willing to listen to sound. In fact, I have to move a little bit. The sun is just so helping me out here. I just cannot. I'm being blinded by the light. And I think it's part of the message today because it was so cloudy till about a minute ago. And ta-da, here's the light. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to use it. That you're just going to start seeing the light in things. You know, you're going to see past appearances, past your stories. And part of the way you're going to see light in things is you might be looking at people who normally you just see as things moving around. And all of a sudden you recognize their humanity. You might have a softening of the heart. You might feel all of a sudden that that person's struggling or could use a smile or I need to be patient or not take their stressful behavior personally, or I need to just protect myself if they're really in a bad energy and just clear out of here instead of walk into the trap. A lot of this is 5D, new you, new earth self, this higher self view that, and the big message is don't fight it. Don't deny it. You know, the biggest comment that I hear that I'm going to invite you to let go of is, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I feel this way. As if, and what you're doing is you're going up in your logic brain looking for an explanation. You're not going to find one in your logic brain. The reason you're doing this or feeling this is because you are intuitive, because you have six senses and your psychic sense has turned on. It's like a light turning on, just like the light turning on me. It's like a light turning on in the dark. All of a sudden, everything is a whole lot brighter and you start to see what you couldn't see. Have you ever been, this reminds me, this makes me laugh. Have you ever been in your apartment and you all of a sudden were in some kind of a blackout, either like on a grand scale, the city blacked out, or your own home just blew a fuse? And all of a sudden you go from being perfectly comfortable to, oh my God, don't anyone move. I'm scared. And you're in your own home. You haven't even moved off the couch, but all of a sudden you're afraid of the dark. Well, living without your intuitive self is like living in the dark. It's scary. It's like trying to fumble your way through the jungle at night without a flashlight or a guide. Now, thank God your intuitive self is kicking in. Thank goodness it's starting to work for you. What you have to do now is change your energy and understanding from, I'm not just an ego person, to I am a spirit-based person and I have six senses and I can pick up energy. And if you say, oh, I don't believe in that, well, that is just so last century science. Even I think I was reading Scientific America or something like that. It's Popular Mechanics even, and it said, guess what? Human beings have six senses. So when it gets to that point, let's stop denying it. Let's just start asking the new question. How does it work? And more importantly, how does it work for me? And how is it working for you? The other way that you might notice that it's working for you is that you can instantly tell if something's going to work out or not. Whether it's a project, an idea, a decision, a plan, a date, you just know. Now, your ego self will say, let's just go through it. And if you have to, go for it. But just know that you know. And if you want to do something fun, acknowledge that what you know. Say, well, my vibes are telling me this. And then say it out loud. Other exciting element, and it's a little bit inconsistent, is you're going to find that you start making decisions that protect you from what could be really negative consequences. For example, I have a client who said she was on her way to go to Hawaii for the next 2 or 3 months. She said, I just got the feeling to wait, that it wasn't a good idea. And that was last month. I was going to go spend till Christmas there, and I got the feeling to wait. And then all of a sudden, they had these horrific and tragic fires. And I'm so glad I waited because, A, that would have been scary for me, but B, I would have been in the way. I would have contributed to their problems. And now here I'm at home. I can contribute. I can donate. I can do work to help. Where if I'd been in it, I wouldn't have been able to help. So that's another thing, is that you start to listen to these clues, this guidance, and it's loud and clear. The minute you start to pay attention to your inner self, you start to pay attention to your sixth sense, it does start to guide you very, very well. But not in necessarily big ways. It guides you in little ways that make a big difference. For example, I have a woman who said, all of a sudden, I couldn't eat meat. She said, I'm a meat eater. I love barbecue. I'm a good hamburger girl, and I'm thin. I'm fine. I'm not watching my weight or anything, but I just couldn't do it. And then she said, for my new job, I had to get part of my new job was health insurance, and I had to get a medical exam for my health insurance, and they noticed that I have extremely high cholesterol genetically. I didn't even know that. It never occurred to me. Nobody in my family talks about that. But it's something that really required some attention. if I wanted to stay off medication. So she said it was just a weird deal. And now I know why I didn't want to eat meat. Now, it's that kind of a thing. We can all say, well, logic says this and that. And your ego will argue out a whole lot of what intuitively you're getting because your ego wants to stay in charge. My question to you, if the ego stays in charge, and I am going to try to move out of the sun as just blaringly wanting to participate in this conversation. My question is this: is your ego's input working out for you? Is it making your life better? Is it taking care of you? Is it helping you feel loved and connected? Is it giving you good advice? Are the results what you want? Because that is a good test. Like, don't believe me. Look at your own experience. There the light goes. So let's use that. Now that the point has been made, the light is retracting. Okay, so how is it working out for you? You can choose to follow the light in you, or you can follow the shadow in you. And that's another thing we have to start noticing. When you begin to come into this higher dimension self, you become real clear of your own shadow. All of a sudden, that snarky part of you that's just going to complain and put other people down and compare and be jealous and inconsiderate and rude and just, it's going to get pretty loud and clear, and you're going to know, you know what, this is not the best version of me. I don't feel good doing this. Oh, there's the light again. This is not the best version of me. I don't want to be this lower energy version of me. I don't like it. But the shadow is important for us to put light upon. It's like we're not going to deny the shadow to get over it. We have to look at it, put some light on it. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're putting a tremendous, just look at all that light coming in. We're going to put that light out. Wow, it's really, really intense. So let me try to move again. Nope, I'll stay in the light. The key is this: we are growing, evolving, and moving into a new dimension. And our intuition is what's going to be turned on like a brilliant, bright light the minute we move into this fifth dimension. It just comes out just like it's beaming in on me. It's that intense. It's that bright. It illuminates your life in a way that you never noticed before. It starts showing you people's agendas. It starts showing you information maybe you didn't even want to know. It will reveal if someone or something is good for you or not. It will reveal if something is good for your body or not, if something is good for your spirit or not. And it is then up to you to listen. We always have a choice. You don't have to follow your intuition, but that's like turning the lights out and saying, I prefer to stay in the dark. So in this new you, fifth dimension self, notice your intuition, notice your psychic abilities, notice your telepathy, notice your understanding, notice your insights, notice your bright perceptions, notice all the energy coming in, and notice how it's helping you. It's really helping you see the truth of things and to see past appearances. And the best thing about the intuition coming in is you start to notice that you're loved, you're connected, you matter, you're not alone, you're helped, you're supported, and most of all, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to be guided to the way it's all going to be okay. And that gives you a sense of peace and confidence your ego can never provide. So that's my message for today. Start to notice, share with me in the notes how your intuition is kicking in. That light is turning on and it is helping you, guiding you. We need to listen to it. We need to stop fighting it, and we need to recognize this is natural. That's how I can explain it. I turn the light back on. And if you're new to my channel, again, please subscribe. And if you want more guidance about working with your intuition, I have 2 books that are really, really good. Trust Your Vibes and The Psychic Pathway. Actually, I have a lot of books that are really good. But start there. And if you're just new, consider getting the audio because I'm channeling the guides and you feel the vibration. So thanks for tuning in. Love you lots and lots. We'll be back next week. This is all so exciting. All my love.